Hello friends, this video on water, a precious resource part 3 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. Now, before we talk about the causes of water scarcity, let us try to understand how much water exactly is available for us. So, I'm sure all of you know that Earth contains a major portion of the Earth, more than 50% of the Earth contains water. That's why if you look at the Earth from outside, it's blue in color. Why is it blue in color? Due to the color of water which is present in the oceans. So a huge portion of the earth contains water, but we are talking about water scarcity. So that sounds quite weird, that when earth contains so much of water, then why are we not getting sufficient water? So that's a very interesting question. Now let us see that the huge amount of water which is present in the earth, is all of that water usable to us? Because as I mentioned before, that not all water is clean enough to be used for drinking purpose or cooking purpose or for household purposes. So let us see how much water is exactly available for us. Now earth is a very big picture. So considering this, instead of considering this bigger picture, let us consider a simpler example which will help us to relate, or which will help us to understand how much percentage of water is actually available for us to be used for various purposes. So let us say you have a bucket, and this bucket contains 20 liters of water. So let's assume that this is a bucket and this bucket contains 20 liters of water. And we assume that this 20 liters represent all the water which is present on the earth. So right now 20 liters is a very small amount, but when you think it from the perspective of the earth, you can imagine that how much amount of water is present in the earth. Now for now we are assuming that the entire earth contains 20 liters of water. But when you actually try to see how much of this water is actually available for us, which can be used for various purposes, so that is just a tablespoon of water. So just imagine, out of this much of water, only this much of water is actually available to us. And this water is around 0.006% of the total water. So only this much percentage of water is actually available to us. So even though our earth looks blue in color, our earth contains a lot of water in it. 3/4 of the earth is water, but all those water is not available for us. All those water cannot be used for the various purposes due to which we need water. Now, as I said, water is need for survival of living organisms. Now, how do living organisms survive with water? By drinking water, basically, right? So, if human beings stop drinking water, what will happen? They will start dying. If plants do not get water, they will start dying. So, it is very important that clean water is being made available to various living organisms, because if you provide dirty water, that will also create problems to the existence of life, because then they will start suffering from various diseases, and then also they will eventually die. So it is very important that water which is being made available to the living organisms, that should be of good quality. So this only 0.006% of the entire water that is present on the earth is available for us. So now we have to see that this is the water which we actually see in the various water reservoirs. So now we have to understand, okay, now how good can we make use of this 0.006% of the water? Because even though the percentage is very small, but when you actually look at the amount, because when you consider the total amount of water which is present on the earth, that is a very huge figure. So 0.006% of a huge figure is also a huge number. So we actually have some considerable amount of water which is available to us. Now it is our duty to ensure that we make the best possible utilization of that water. So now let us see what are the various forms in which water is available. So we got to know how much water is available to us, but what are the various forms in which we see water? Now water can exist in solid form, liquid form as well as gaseous form. Now some of the forms of water where it exists in solid, that they are snow, ice. So you would have seen the icebergs, so the polar regions which are covered with ice, so they are all solid forms of water. Water is also present in liquid forms, as you see in ponds, lakes, rivers, oceans. So they are all present in liquid form. And water is also present in gaseous form in the atmosphere. So in the atmosphere, what do we have? We have the clouds, and what are clouds? They are nothing but water vapors or tiny droplets of water. So when these water vapor, they get converted into liquid water droplets, that is when we have rainfall. So basically these clouds which are present, they are nothing but gaseous form of water. So water exists around us in all the three forms, in solid, liquid as well as gases. Thank you. Please visit www.examfear.com to watch more educational videos with a better experience. Please do not forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel for latest updates. Thank you once again.